Hello, hello, Symphony Reads community. How are we doing today? It's your girl Janine with Symphony Reads, and I want you to join us. Join us on Facebook. Look us up on Facebook. We are Symphony Reads Ministry, or you can look us up as at Symphony Reads. So let me spell Symphony Reads because I've had some questions about that. So it's Symphony, Symphony, and read with an S. So it's Reads. And that's how you can look us up. You can always give us a call. We love when you call us and have questions or any way that we can direct you to the resources that you may be looking for, prayer on the spot, whatever it might be. If for whatever reason we don't answer the phone, you can always leave us a message and we will definitely respond back to you. It's really fast. We try to do it within 24 hours. um, definitely give us a call if you like. That's 240-681-9275. That's 240-681-9275. Also, you can leave us an email. Again, if you have prayer concerns, prayer requests that you would like to do, whether it's for yourself or somebody um, feel free to, contact us, let us know so that we can pray for you, or the request that you have. I don't care if it's an individual request for other people, for other family members, for communities, whatever those prayer concerns are that you have. We want to stand and pray with you. That's what we want to do. That's a highlight of Symphony Reads Day, honestly, is to pray for our community. And so you can do that also by emailing us if you have questions, topics you want us to hear about that may interest you. Always, you can email us, and that's symphonyreads with an S at gmail.com. Oh, excuse me. And what else is going on? Yeah, we like I said, we have the Facebook page Symphony Reads Ministry, and we also have a closed group. You just have to join to be a member of it, but it's open to all. But I closed it because people, I think, may have a concern, and they just don't want it. I don't want it out on my out on the page, and that's not your comfort level. So in a closed group, only people in the group sees it. Period. End of the conversation. Nobody else. You don't have to worry about Jesse Sue seeing it. If Jesse Sue is not in the group, then Jesse Sue won't see it. You know what I'm saying? And you may have a concern where I don't know, a family member, you don't want them to know, or whatever the situation may be. That's why I closed the group. So only those in the group will see what's happening in the group. And it's not a place where we bashing one another. We're literally praying for one another. You know what I'm saying? If you bring a request out there for prayer, we're praying for that request, for that concern that's happening, whether it's to you or to someone else. We are praying. We learn a little bit more about prayer. And when I say that, some people have all of these notions that can go on in their mind about prayer. I used to think, honestly, because I would go to churches and events, and the pastors, they were very dynamic speakers, and their prayers to me were like, I don't pray like that. I don't pray at all like that. So I thought that that's the way you had to pray. And, no, that's not. That is a way, and it's nothing wrong with it. But we all have our way of connecting and speaking to God, and in prayer, that it's just deepening that connection with God and bringing everything to Him. Again, being young, I thought you prayed when something happened, when something went wrong. It never dawned on me when I was young that you prayed when you are just elated with life and you're happy with life. You pray all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get that necessarily because I felt like when a lot of people that I saw pray, it was during rough times. You know what I'm saying? Something specific was going on and they were praying and trying to get whatever that was straight. So, again, just different a perception. And, so we just kind of clear up those type of things, that there is no prayer that's too little. It's not about being long-winded in prayer and you have to have these long lengthy prayers. We learn stuff like that. And we are just boom. So if you want to join that, that's Symphony Reads Ministry prayer group. And if you look it up that way, you can do the request to join the group. And once I see the request, I will approve it. And then, from there, you can put your prayer concerns there if you like. You can pray for, and how that works is not only can you pray, you could write the prayer out right there for whatever is being asked of. You can just write the prayer, if that's, what you want to do, and that is the space where you can do that, and you have other people, and it's just a time where you can share. And I mean, there's power when you're by yourself, but there's also power in group and being a community and gathering together as believers in Christ, and understanding how we can pull from one another and help lift one another up, and sharing. It's not about people being in your business, but something you pray about can bless somebody else because either they have been through it or they are going through it. You just don't know. But if it's never out there, then you don't know who it's helping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning, and the more I do Symphony Reads, and I pour into Symphony Reads, and I'm reading the scriptures, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, is just teaching me that the testimony of that we have is just very powerful, and it's helping other people. And so what we go through is not void. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, oh, let's just pick on her today. Well, oh, let's just pick on him today. It's not void. So again, if you want to join the community, you're absolutely 100%. You can do that if that's what you choose. But it's there for you, and I like to let everyone know each time that it is an option and it is there. And so that's all I have. With I just wanted to do my normal run or introduction, before getting started, and then kind of going to take a small, do something a little different before we get into our positive thinking and daily inspiration, wisdom, and courage. And I did not post yesterday. I mentally was not there. And, like I'm having a pretty good day yesterday. And then, oh my goodness, you know, I, I get a notice that, pretty much tells us we have to move out by March 21st. And, no, we weren't late on rent or anything like that. Was the choice of the our landlord, that he no longer wants to rent this property out, and so we have to move. And anybody who kind of knows where I'm at right now, and I've just been going through such a crazy time, since probably, I'll just say October of last year, where it really just, stuff just keeps happening. And I'm trying to, and long story short, it just, something caved in me. I just was broken. I don't even know if I could call it broken. I felt I was shattered. And, I was just in a very bad place, a very bad state. And so rather than staying there, I said, Janine, you have to get yourself together and stop thinking negatively, stop being in the house if that's what the, issue, and just always thinking about your problems. Let's get you outside of that. So that's where the calendar came from. The calendar idea that I had that came from, and then, just it kind of went that way. So I say all that was because yesterday I was feeling really great. You know what I'm saying? I started to feel like my old self again, you know, and just in that moment of getting that news, I felt like it almost shattered me. And at that point, I just needed time to just wrap my head around what was happening, what was going on, you know, everything, because a lot of thoughts just started going through my head, and I'm just like, oh, like I need this problem, like we don't need this problem right now, but it is what it is, and so that was just one of the reasons why I posted, because if I would have posted yesterday, honestly, it probably would have just been me crying and being just really just crying, and you probably would have been like, why is she recording herself crying? I don't know, but it's just, I needed to take a moment to just digest and really see what was happening, like, how do I digest this? And I always say sometimes when stuff just kept cascading down and just stuff come up, problem after problem. I don't have a job. I'm looking for work, Um, this is happening. I don't have a car because I couldn't pay for it no more. Just stuff happening. And now it's like, now I don't have no, okay, it's just stuff happening. And I will say this. When it says in the good word that the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy, that is a real thing. And he doesn't play fair. That is a real thing. He kicks you while you're down. And it's he kicks you while you're down. And he will kick you here mentally first. And like I said, when I got the news yesterday, I was mentally here. Like it was, I could feel the instance of it trying to really tear me down and bring me back down to that dark place. And I felt like, wow, I'm still being picked on. Now my family's being picked on. And what it reminded me of was Job. Like, I felt like, okay, maybe what's going on with Job? Like, I was like, Job came to my mind. And when stuff happens to me, sometimes I go, oh, I'm having a Moses moment, or oh, I'm having a Joseph moment. I feel like circumstances are different, but kind of what's happening to me, it reminds me, like, parts of it, of these things. You know what I'm saying? From it just reminds me, and so I felt like, wow, this is kind of a Job moment. I felt like, you know, um, and sometimes when you're down, you have to figure out how to get yourself back up and out. And so this morning, I had to go to a training, and for unemployment, I have to go to a training. And so I got there early, and so I started, reading and doing a lot of reading and writing, and I came up with some things, and I like I said, I looked at Job. And so I kind of went in the Old Testament, and I started reading some of Job, but I was directed to Job 42. And I'm just going to read this to you. And it's, what's this? One part of one all the way to, I think this is six. Yeah. I don't think let me look it up real quick because I be doing some crazy things. Let me just, I wrote a tidbit. I just wanted to make sure um, what I wrote. Sorry, I didn't mean to take it out of, dang, I have Bible Gateway, but this is what I wrote when I was at training. So um, my handwriting is just a little sloppy. So I wanted to make sure what part I was. Okay, see, I would told y'all something different. So what I did was I read 42 1 through 6, and pretty much that was Job answering the Lord, um, and then going to 7, verse 7, and I kind of wrote right. I know when I hate when I do this. Yeah, and I kind of uh, started there. So pretty much I started at. I'm just trying to see where did I start. Right. Here we go. Okay, I started at. So we're in 42, and I started writing it 9. And not all of 9. I started after the semicolon where it says, "For the Lord had accepted Job, and the Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. Indeed, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then all his brothers, all his sisters, and all those who had been his acquaintances before came to him and ate food with him in his house. And they consoled him and confronted him for all the adversity that the Lord had brought upon him. Each one gave him a piece of silver, and each a ring of gold." And then a little part here where it says, "Now," this is verse 12, "Now the Lord blessed the latter days of Job more than his beginning, for he had," and it went into 14,000 sheep, and all that he was giving back, and he was also giving back sons and daughters. If you really recount the story of Job, Job lost everything. Job lost his family. Job, I mean, like his children. I believe the wife. He lost everything. Like he lost everything, and he was in pain from, was it blisters? I think, but he was in pain, and so he lost everything. And he had these friends that were giving him some out. It was just downright not good advice. And so we're at the point where Job had to repent too for some of the things that he was feeling because of the situation he was in. And so he repented because it was just he didn't understand why he was going through what he was going through. And so he repented, and God accepted that, that he repented. So when I looked at this, and I believe God brought me to this, what was taken from him was also restored to him, and not just to what he had, but it was increased more. And so I'm just, I feel like in my situation, because it's not like it just, things just keep happening. It seems like when a smile come on my face, it keeps, something else happens, and something else happens, and I know it's because, one, I'm reading more. I'm not in that depressed state anymore. I'm reading more of the Bible. I'm becoming stronger. I'm healing from the things that went on that I just needed to heal from. My marriage has went from us not communicating to us being stronger than we've ever been in the 7 years, well, almost 7 years, it'll be 7 in February, that we've where we've been for 7 years. And so, I feel like the devil comes in to try to destroy. What I'm talking to you right now about is just this: life happens, circumstances come up, that happens. And us not being able to stay here any longer is beyond our control. That's not something we say, okay, we're just going to, go or anything like this. It's beyond our control. Them laying me off from work, beyond my control. I didn't do anything to, cause it, but it was beyond my control. But it's a knock down. And when you're down, you're weak. And the devil preys on the weak. And as soon as he sees, and I know it's just about breaking your connection. What I'm telling you right now, this is real time. This is real for me. What's happening in my life, this is real. And I share it because I feel like I'm not the only person that is going through a season of this type thing, and I'm not saying we going through the same thing, but I just don't feel like, I'm the only one going through a bad season right now. I don't feel like I'm the only one who has ever had these problems. And, again, I always say, just because, you're in the church and you're praying and you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, it doesn't mean that you don't go through stuff. And right now it's just that time that I'm going through some stuff. And I just feel like, one, you're not alone in what you're going through. And yes, I have to pep talk myself. I have to pray myself. This is not play for me. You know what I'm saying? This is not me just saying, oh, this is what you need to do. I'm telling you my real life stuff to show you that this is what I have to do to uplift myself, to keep my spirits up, and and not feel like I'm deserted. And when stuff like this start happening, to me, I just feel like, is God even with me? That again, this is just where my mind goes through. What happened? Well, he has to be with me because the Bible says he's with me, and he says he's with me all the time. And then I'm like, are my sins causing this? If God forgives you, he forgives you. You know what I'm saying? And so I just had to read some passages, and just read some passages. And like one of my favorites, and it popped up today, Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened nor dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Psalms 145, 18 through 19. The Lord is near to all who call on him. He fulfills the desires of those who fear him. He hears their cry and saves them. So I believe God hears me. I know he knows my situation, and I know he knows what's in my heart. And I know he hears me. Psalm 16:8. I know the Lord is always with me. What's that say? I know the Lord is always with me. I will not be shaken, for he is right beside me. Again, I have to understand that he's with me. And even though these things that are outside of my control are happening, that doesn't mean he deserted me. He's still with me. He's helping me get through. Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. When I read that, who strengthens me? Christ strengthens me. God strengthens me. I can do all things through he who strengthens me. I have to pep talk myself again. I have to pep talk myself, period, while I'm going through. And this is how I do it. I just start picking up scriptures, and I'll go to the ones that I know already. And then, we have the age of Google. And I'll go to like Bible Gateway. A lot of people know that one. And I'll just say fear or whatever it is I need to be comforted on. And today it was just knowing that God is still with me no matter what's happening. He's going to take care of me. I'm losing this, and I believe He will restore not just me, but my family. And I believe He will do the same for you. If He did it for Job, He will do it for you. If He did it before, He will do it again. So that's just my soapbox on that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off. But, again, I'm talking to myself. And I know I am. Because yesterday was really testing me. And and I did. And you take your moment. If you know, again, if you're having a moment, then have it. Take that moment. Be upset. I cried. I'm not gonna lie to you. I cried. I was just like, I don't think I can handle this right now. Have your moment. I'm upset. I'm a little like, oh, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. It's just kind of a bad time, but it's okay because there's still a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a season. Maybe, when you grow, stuff happens. It's a deterrence to keep you from growing in God. To make you believe that He doesn't love you, that He doesn't have your back, that He doesn't see your suffering, that He doesn't care, whatever it is. And I believe no matter what I'm going through, that it's just opposite. But yet I have to still remind myself that. Because sometimes when you're going through, it feels never ending. It feels like it won't end. It feels like you can't get through. I'm just weak. I'm tired. I'm this. I'm that. We all go through it. We all do, and I know we do. And if you say you don't, and I just think you're missing it. And I think we do. At some point, somewhere, we go through. So I'm just going to, because I'm seeing the time, and again, I am just sorry. So pretty much January 28th said, we should live life with an open heart of curiosity. And, allow creativity to be your guide. Live as if no one else were watching. Dance, play, sing out loud. Make the kind of magic that dreams are made of. And what this reminded me of, honestly, is just we have this one life. Life is what you going to make of it. Period. If it's doom and gloom, then that's how you're going to live your life. That's how I live my life if I continuously see it as doom and gloom. It's easy to look at the problems in life, but we don't also see the blessings in life. You know what I'm saying? And, if I keep doing stuff because I don't think it'll please the people around me, or, it doesn't make sense, let's just say nobody else in my circle is doing it, so why should I do it? That's not, live your life for you, not anybody else. I can't live my life based on what you think I should be doing with my life. You know what I'm saying? I have to live my life for God because that's what I choose to do. That's the choice that I've made a long time ago, is to do that. So, and it says, sing. I think life, and anybody who know me, I think life should be a musical. We should be singing. Like, I think when we just should break out in song and dance. And that's why I like a lot of Indian movies, because they do just that. They will break out in a song and a dance in the middle of it. What we call musicals, that's like their normal movie. And I love it. because I just think that's how life should be. You should just break out in song. Why? Because singing make you feel good, in my opinion, and it conveys a feeling that you have, and I think the world just should know. It should be a song and dance. So, and sing, dance. If that's what you want to do in life and it makes you feel great and it's happy, it's positive, it's blessing you. And I'm going to tell you one thing, it might be blessing somebody else too. Because I know when I'm having a bad day and I'm out and someone says, how you doing? Have a good day, and have a smile on their face, it could turn my world around. And it was just something simple and they didn't know no different. So again, just live the life that you choose to live. And don't let it be one where like what it told me today in the training that I took is, just because we're older, well, I'm older, it's okay to still dream. It's okay to still want to achieve something. You don't have to live in fear of not being able to do that. It's okay to dream. And it's amazing to dream big. And I'm just saying, live the life you want. Don't worry about what other people think about the life you want to live. If it's a positive thing, I don't see, live the life. That's your life. You know what I'm saying? And truthfully, how you choose to live your life, that's between you and God. You know, and and I could tell you this: if it's something he feels like you're not doing right, he'll let you know. That's just how I feel about it. He'll let you know. And then today, the 29th, just because I'm really going to wrap this up, it talks about, what is this saying? It's saying apologies and asking for forgiveness are not the same thing. So it's a difference to say that you're sorry, and then it's a difference to say forgive me for what I've done. And they're saying because you say I'm sorry, it doesn't make you free of guilt. And forgiveness doesn't mean that harm has not been done. And I talk a lot about forgiveness, especially when you have things that has happened to you that are outside of your control, and it's hard to forgive someone, because some people think when you forgive someone that means it like null and void the fact that what they did hurt me or hurt somebody. You understand what I'm saying? And it doesn't. It just doesn't mean that at all. So, I talk about forgiveness, and we should want to forgive because we want to be forgiven. It's as simple as that to me. And it's hard. Don't get me wrong. That is a hard thing. Especially when someone has done something that is just, it's almost like the unforgivable. It's like, why would you do something like that to somebody? Who said that was okay? And it's not okay. And in those situations, because I just feel when it comes to forgiveness, again, people have done some pretty messed up things to me and it hurt. And then I have to realize that I've done some pretty messed up things that probably hurt somebody else. Now, whether I meant to do it or not, again. And when I stand before the Lord, I want, asking for that forgiveness, that true, earnest, like, I am sorry for what I've done. I know I can't go back and fix it, but I don't have to be the same like that caused that ever again, and I want to be forgiven. I don't want to hear or have said to me, I won't forgive you. And what I've learned in my life, forgiveness just sets you free. I always say, excuse me, when I think of forgiveness, it's not just for the other person. It sets you free of a bondage that you were in. Because holding on to anger, holding on to that space where whatever happened to you is you're in bondage. When that space that happened to me, I was in bondage. I allowed that person, people, whatever you want to say, at different points in my life, I allowed them to have control of my life. They living their life, and I'm sitting in here struggling to live mine because I'm angry. I'm upset. You know, you hurt me in a way that I don't know if I can recover. And I'm telling you. And when I forgave that person then, that person there, it set me free from that bondage that I was under. And that I didn't get it at the time, but I got it. I felt it when I truly forgave and just released. This is yours, God. This is you. I that's you. I'm gonna give this to you because I can't. I don't wanna. I don't wanna hold that. And it does set you free. It is a very powerful thing, and it doesn't mean. And I tell people this all the time, and I use my own life as example. It doesn't mean that what happened didn't happen or it erases it. And just because you forgave a person, that doesn't mean you need to have them at your house for Sunday dinner. It don't. It really truly doesn't. And it took me a long time to realize that. And I believe that whatever happened, it will be dealt with, but not by me, not by you, not by police down the street, but by God. I believe He will handle it. He sees it. He knows. He got it. So I'm just saying, if you want that freedom, and it's a process. So I'm not saying if someone, you know, stabbed you today, I'm not saying you have to forgive them right then and there, because it's a process to get to that place. It can be a process. Some people I know, they can have the wrong done to them and they're able to forgive right then and right there, just like that. Peace and blessings to you. I myself, sometimes I'm processing. I have to get over and get through some things sometimes before I can get to that place where I can say, I forgive you. And that's just my walk, and because I lived so long in a place, and, it was almost like God was telling me, how is that working out for you? Holding on to all of this. Is it working any better for you? No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. And that's my truth. I had held it so long. It wasn't working. I was miserable. I was like the walking dead. Seriously. God was like, do you trust me? Yes. Try forgiveness. See what that, in my mind, see what that will do for me? Are you kidding me? But I'm telling you, when I got there to that place, it's like I've tried every other way and it's not effective. It's not working. Let me try it God's way. Let me try it His way. Released me in a way, I'm telling you, it released me in a way that I wasn't expecting. And I believe it could do the same for you. So that's what we have for today from the Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Wisdom, and Courage by Cindy Spiegel. And tomorrow, can you believe it is day 30? Oh my goodness, we are literally, 2 days, and we'll be out of January into February. Wow. So again, love you guys. I love this time. I'm sorry I ran really long today, but I just wanted to share because it was on my heart, and um, I hope it was helpful. I really pray that it helps you or someone you know. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 30. Peace and blessings to you. Bye bye.